committing a violent crime. They've been caught. Katrina Weber has the details this noon.
The punishment phase in the Otis McKane trial will continue later on this afternoon. Eric Hernandez has a look at what we can expect when the court resumes.
Isolated showers and storms today and a few more chances down the line. Your 7-day forecast is coming up.
Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
An investigation into New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has found that he sexually harassed multiple current and former state government employees.
All of this unfolding today with the New York Attorney General's office, and now Governor Cuomo is responding to those allegations.
The prosecutor has done a response to each allegation, and the facts are much different than what has been portrayed. That document is available on my website.
What went away?
If you are interested, please take the time to read the facts and decide for yourself. First, I want you to know directly from me that I never touched anyone inappropriately or made inappropriate sexual advances. I am 63 years old. I've lived my entire adult life in public view. That is just not who I am, and that's not who I have ever been. There is one complaint that has been made that bothered me most. That was a complaint made by a young woman, Charlotte Bennett, who worked in my office. And it's important to me that you fully understand the situation. Charlotte worked in my office last year as an assistant. She was smart, talented, and eager to learn. She identified herself to me as a survivor of sexual assault. She said that she came to work in my administration because of all the progress we had made in fighting sexual assault. She talked about the personal trauma that she endured and how she was handling it. I could see how it had affected her. I could see her pain. People now ask me, why was I even talking to this young woman if I knew she was dealing with such issues? Why did I even engage with her? That is the obvious and fair question, and one I have thought a lot about. The truth is that her story resonated deeply with me. I had heard the same story before, with the same ugliness, the same injustice, the same damage. Not only had I heard the story before, I had lived with the story before. My own family member is a survivor of sexual assault in high school. I have watched her live and suffer with the trauma. I would do anything to make it go away for her, but it never really goes away. I spent countless days and nights working through these issues with her and therapists and counselors. I'm governor of the state of New York, but I felt powerless to help and felt that I had failed her. I couldn't take the pain away. I still can't. And this young woman brought it all back. She is about the same age. I thought I had learned a lot about the issue from my family's experience. I thought I could help her work through a difficult time. I did ask her questions I don't normally ask people. I did ask her how she was doing and how she was feeling. And I did ask questions to try to see if she had positive, supportive dating relationships. I know too well the manifestations of sexual assault trauma and the damage that it can do in the aftermath. I was trying to make sure she was working her way through it the best she could. I thought I had learned enough and had enough personal experience to help her. But I was wrong. I have heard Charlotte and her lawyer, and I understand what they are saying. But they read into comments that I made and draw inferences that I never meant. They ascribe motives I never had. And simply put, they heard things that I just didn't say. Charlotte, I want you to know that I am truly and deeply sorry. I brought my personal experience into the workplace, and I shouldn't have done that. I was trying to help. Obviously, I didn't. I am even more sorry that I further complicated the situation. My goal was the exact opposite. I wish nothing but good for you and for all survivors of sexual assault. There is another complaint I want to address from a woman in my office who said that I groped her in my home office. Let me be clear, that never happened. She wants anonymity, and I respect that. So I am limited but what I can say. But her lawyer has suggested that she will file a legal claim for damages.
You've been listening to Governor Cuomo of New York addressing recent allegations of sexual harassment that have been lodged against him after an investigation by the New York Attorney General's office. All of that released just this morning with over 100 counts or allegations against him.
Yeah, they found that the governor had sexually harassed multiple women. That announcement came earlier today. And once again, that is Governor Cuomo responding to those allegations. We'll have much more on our website, KSAT.com. And of course, we'll have a wrap up of that this afternoon on KSAT News at 5 and again at 6.
Meantime, San Antonio police say their search is over when it comes to finding suspects in the robbery of some guests who were at a Northeast Side motel.
They have made their second arrest in that case, which involved a couple being tied up, beaten, and robbed. As Katrina Weber reports, police say the suspects were no strangers to those victims.
Mugshots show two suspects who San Antonio police now have in custody in the flesh. Men who they believe had been caught on surveillance cameras back in May committing a violent crime. 38-year-old Perry Lyons was the latest to be arrested, officially charged in this case last night. 35-year-old Daniel Cheever was arrested in June. An arrest affidavit says both are accused of barging into a third-floor room at the Hallmark Inn, Lyons armed with a gun, then robbing a couple inside. The affidavit says the suspects used duct tape and zip ties to restrain the couple, then beat them and stole items from their safe. It says at least part of the crime was captured on surveillance cameras. Police say both of the robbers got away that day, but it wasn't long before they knew exactly who their suspects were. They say one of the victims was able to give them both men's names because he had been roommates with one in the past. Investigators say the victims were vague when it came to exactly what was stolen. But with the help they did give, police caught the suspects. Both are charged with aggravated robbery. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
It is day 4 for the punishment phase of the Otis McKane trial. Yesterday, several witnesses took the stand for the state attacking McCain's character.
Eric Hernandez is joining us live in the studio now with more about that testimony and what we can expect today.
Hey guys. So the prosecution yesterday trying to show the jury the type of person Otis McKane was. They characterized him as a drug dealer, a bad father who abused his ex-girlfriend. Now, text messages from McCain's phone showed that he was dealing marijuana and cocaine in 2016. His ex-girlfriend then took the stand to talk about their relationship and having to get a protective order against McCaine.
I immediately got out of the car and I was trying to back away from him. So as soon as he got out of the car, he was chasing after me and he attacked me.
Okay. And when you say he attacked you, what did he do?
Like, he left bruises on my face and even got me in a choke around my neck.
Another thing the state wanted to present was jailhouse interviews that McCain did with the media after he was arrested in December 2016. The defense objected to it, saying they shouldn't be allowed in because they weren't allowed to be present for those interviews. Now, Judge Ron Rangel has yet to rule on that objection. We expect him to do so this afternoon. Court resumes at 1:30. Don't forget, you can watch it live on KSAT.com. Ursula, David.
Thank you, Erica. Now to the latest on the pandemic. The U.S. reached President Biden's goal of 70% of adults with at least one vaccine dose. But the Delta variant still spreading through the country. As ABC's Rena Roy reports, there are a lot of U.S. counties reporting high or substantial community transmission.
Hospitals across the country feeling the strain once again. Louisiana battling the highest infection rate in the country. The state's largest hospital admitting a new COVID patient every hour.
There are no more beds left. These are the darkest days of this pandemic. We are no longer giving adequate care to patients.
Don Beasley is fully vaccinated and fighting the virus in a hospital there, but says it would have been much worse if he hadn't gotten his shots.
The main reason, guys, I'm here is because I took the 2 vaccinations. If I didn't take them, all the people that I've talked to said you would not be talking to us now.
CDC data shows just 0.01% of breakthrough infections have led to hospitalization or death. Most severe cases are in the unvaccinated.
This remains a pandemic of the unvaccinated, where the vast majority of spread is in this country is among those who are unvaccinated.
With the surge in cases, the CDC changing its mask guidance, recommending everyone mask up indoors in areas hit hard by COVID and in schools. But from district to district and state to state, rules vary.
You have kids in 2 schools, 2 miles apart, different protocols.
I mean, as parents, we're just trying to navigate the noise.
Some students at the San Francisco Bay Area school have been sent home because they didn't have masks.
I'm an educator, not an epidemiologist, and our job is to follow the guidance from the scientists of the California Department of Public Health so we can keep our schools safe, and that's what we're going to do.
The good news right now is that as cases surge, all 50 states are reporting a rise in new vaccinations, with the national rate of Americans getting their first dose up more than 73%. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
A South Texas hospital is part of the effort to get children vaccinated. Driscoll Children's Hospital in Corpus Christi is taking part in a Pfizer trial. We'll hear from a doctor who's involved coming up in the next half hour.
And local school districts releasing information about their upcoming school year, and that includes their COVID-19 plans. And right now on KSAT.com, we are gathering up all of that information from all of the area school districts, and we will update this list as officials release their plans for the fall. However, some major districts have already posted their plans, including Northside, San Antonio, and South San ISDs. Let's take a look right now on KSAT.com if you would like to get that information. Even so, despite districts laying out their plans already, some parents may still have questions about COVID-19 safety. So that's why we're hosting a KSAT Community Back to School virtual town hall. Stephanie Cerner is going to be talking with local educators, doctors, psychologists, and community leaders, answering your questions about what school's going to look like this fall. Head over to KSAT.com and look for this article and submit your question or questions. Then tune in online August 4th at 7:30 a.m. and get your questions answered. It's a live stream that'll focus on pre-K through grade school students. And then I'm going to be hosting another live stream on August 11th, focusing on middle and high school students.
And tomorrow evening, we'll be hosting a phone bank with Dr. Teresa Barton from University Health. She will help answer some of your lingering vaccine questions if you're still on the fence about getting your shot. We'll announce the phone number you can call tomorrow. The phone bank is open from 5 till 7 tomorrow evening. Still to come this half hour, the Spurs gain 2 free agents, but they lose 1.
As schools get ready for the fall semester, as we said, companies are also racing to test COVID-19 vaccines, all in the hope of giving young children a chance to get their shots. Once again, I want to remind you, we're talking to a doctor who's involved in one of those childhood trials. It's in our next half hour.
And a local hospital worker and a patient develop a special bond, the unforgettable gift that patient gave that worker. Coming up after the break.
In the town of Jordanton, a frontline worker leaving a major impact on COVID-19 patients at Methodist Hospital South, Luis Gomez, goes above and beyond to bring joy and hope and even gifts to those who face some of the toughest battles all alone. Recently, he received a letter that says he has brought so much meaning to his life and vocation. Alicia Barrera has more on a touching story.
His official job title is housekeeper, but it's his vocation as a patient advocate that makes Luis Gomez unforgettable. And it may not be in his job description, but Luis Gomez uses his own money to spread joy throughout the hospital in Jourdanton. Hidden inside his pockets are items like prayer cards, word searches, or really any items that reflect his faith and also his love for all, but especially the sick. One of his gifts landed in the hands of Maureen Stinson, a woman in her 80s who battled COVID-19 during the winter. Gomez gave her a tree and some ornaments, and Stinson was so touched that the two became good friends. Eventually, Stinson got better and was transferred back to her nursing home. Gomez was able to say goodbye.
She told me, I wrote you a letter, and I thought she left it in the room because I'm the one that was going to go clean the room. I never found it, so I just left it at that.
I open it and it's in my mom's handwriting, and she's thanking a Lewis and for a stuffed animal.
Dear Lewis, thank you for this pretty ornament. I will treasure it always. You are extremely thoughtful. I love my little bear. I'm going to take good care of it. I love him. I'm so glad we met. My writing is not good because of my hand that I hurt. Thank you again, Maureen Stinson.
Unfortunately, Stinson had passed away in February due to complications from COVID-19, but the family later found the letter. So what happened next? What exactly was written in that letter, and how was Luis Gomez finally able to read it? The full story on KSAT.com. Reporting Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Very touching story.
She's got us all intrigued. I want to read the story.
Outside looks kind of hazy. It's 86 degrees. That means there's humidity in the air because we got another round of rain last night.
Yeah, the rain was plentiful yesterday. We're not going to see as much today, but there is some on the radar, and I'll show you that to you here in just a second. First, the aquifer. It is actually up today. No surprise after yesterday's rain, up 0.4 of a foot to, there it is again, 666 even. I don't know what's going on this year. Molds in the very high category, 17,080. They went up from yesterday. We'll look at the radar and get you your forecast coming up. Welcome back. Quite a bit of rainfall so far this summer. Since June 1st, look at this number. This is at San Antonio International Airport, 7.19. That is over an inch above average. Great shape there. Since January 1st, 22.36. That's about 3 inches above the average. So yes, we are doing very well in the rainfall department, especially after yesterday. And there is more popping up on the radar this afternoon. You'll notice that's down near Carrizo Springs, down in parts of Dimmitt and Zavala counties. These are little thunderstorms here, kind of out over rural areas, but shows that we are starting to get some instability out there. We may start to see a few more showers and storms pop up. I think the favorite area this afternoon is going to be south of San Antonio, but it's possible we could even get a pop-up shower or storm here, depending on the fact, or depending on what the cloud cover does. Cloud cover is still kind of thick out there, but if it breaks up a little bit and we can get some instability, the chance is there. Right now, we're forecasting about a 30% chance of rain. We still got a frontal boundary draped over the area, so that helps to give us a little bit of lift. This thing's falling apart, but it is there, and it's allowing for some cooler than average temperatures for much of the state. I mentioned the clouds. Let's zoom in a little bit closer here. And you can see the clouds are breaking up now. We do have some clouds trying to develop. And this is the kind of cloud cover that you see here that can bubble up into some showers and storms. We've seen that down here with that activity that we just showed you. So again, the chances are there. There's quite a bit more sun, though, as you get out into the hill country. Lakey, Rack Springs, seeing quite a bit of sun at this hour. Here in San Antonio, mostly cloudy, 86. Dew point is still at 70, so it's sticky. It feels like 91. North-northeasterly winds at about 6 miles per hour. And temperatures generally in the 80s, 84 Boulevardy, 83 Canyon Lake, 86 in New Braunfels, 86 out towards Hondo, and 91. That's one of the warm spots in Del Rio. As we mentioned, a little bit more sun out west. 83 Kennedy, 82 in Victoria. Dew points are in the 70s here around San Antonio. As you get further west, the dew points do drop off just a little bit. Here's what the forecast looks like. It does show some isolated showers and storms today. Tomorrow, same idea. About a 30% chance of rain. Best chances south of town. And then as we get into Thursday, I think our rain chances actually come up just a little bit. We get a little disturbance rolling in. Should pick up the coverage and we'll put in a 40% chance on Thursday. Very quickly, I want to touch on the tropics. We have one little system out in the Atlantic, and I mean, it's way out there. Hurricane Center has flagged it. There is some thunderstorm activity with it. Just a 10% chance of development. One of the reasons we haven't had a lot of tropical activity as of late, the dust. Saharan dust is out there. When you get dust over the Atlantic, it tends to suppress any sort of tropical activity. And you can see the dust is still there. We've had several bouts of it come into South Texas, but as long as it's moving across the Atlantic, we're not going to see a lot of activity. And we're sort of slowed down a little bit. If we do get another named storm, it would be Fred, but it's been a while since we've been talking about anything out there. Our forecast for today takes us up to about 90, maybe low 90s the way it's looking right now. 30% chance of rain, 30% chance tomorrow, 40% chance Thursday. After that, it heats up and dries out. 95 Saturday, 96 on Sunday. We'll be right back.
The Spurs got what the Spurs needed most in free agency, a shooter, signing 6'7" Doug McDermott, who has agreed to a 3-year, $42 million deal. That's according to The Athletic. McDermott is about to start his 8th season in the NBA and averaged 13.5 points and shot 39% from three-point range last season with the Pacers. That's not all. Zach Collins has agreed to a 3-year, $22 million deal to suit up in the silver and black, according to ESPN. Unfortunately, he has had a history of being injury-prone. The Spurs still have money to spend, so they may not be done in the free agent market just yet. And really no surprise here, Rudy Gay has signed a free agent deal with the Utah Jazz, according to several different reports, including ESPN's Wojo. It's a 2-year deal with a player option that'll pay him $12.1 million. Gay spent 4 seasons here in San Antonio, and he averaged about 11 points a game.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Davis Law Firm.
All right, Cowboys getting ready to head over to the Hall of Fame game in Pittsburgh Thursday. Today they got a 1 to 3 p.m. practice, and then tomorrow they travel to Canton. And Thursday's a Hall of Fame game at 7 o'clock, and then Friday they get the day off after that big Thursday night game with Pittsburgh.
Coming up, young children still can't get the COVID-19 vaccine. However, pharmaceutical companies are trying to change that quickly. Pfizer is now conducting trials, and a Corpus Christi hospital is taking part. We're talking to a doctor from that hospital coming up after the break. As children in our area prepare to head back to school, many parents are worried since young children can't get the COVID vaccine right now.
However, companies are in the middle of trials, and part of the Pfizer trial is taking place at Driscoll Children's Hospital in Corpus Christi.
And we're joined now by Dr. Jaime Fergie. He's the Director of Infectious Diseases at Driscoll Children's Hospital. Thank you for joining us, Doctor. We really appreciate it.
It is my pleasure.
Now, yesterday I was on the clinicaltrials.gov site, and I noticed there are still hundreds of clinical trials underway right now addressing the COVID-19 pandemic. How many of those are children, just generally speaking?
Well, you know, there are several. I don't know the exact number, but there are several from all the vaccines that we're currently have under emergency use authorization in the United States. They're also doing studies in the little kids. And that's what we're doing here in Corpus Christi at Driscoll Children's Hospital.
Can you give us a few of the particulars about the study? How many kids are in the study? What's the age range, and how long will the study take place?
So the one that we're doing here right now, and that we have received patients from San Antonio and Austin area, is the Pfizer vaccine. And we are doing the study for children between the ages of 6 months and 11 years of age. We have about 36 kids in the age group 5 to 11, and then we have about 50 more kids in the younger age group. And the study began in June. We're doing the 1 dose, follow second dose 3 weeks apart, and of course, it's a study. So some children get a placebo, and other children get the vaccine. At the end of the study, however, those who receive placebo will be given the vaccine.
Dr. Fergie, when do you think you're going to get your first release of initial results?
Well, I cannot tell that at this point yet, because the study has not been completed. So, you know, we usually like to wait for several months after the end of the vaccination. So we are just, giving the second vaccine that we would like to follow up for about 6 months. So the company, of course, the Pfizer in this case, they will have to decide when they unblind, when they get information on the study, when to submit it. But, I am hopeful, and this is my personal opinion, I'm hopeful that before the end of the year, we may have a vaccine that go down to 6 months of age. Right now, as you know, the Pfizer vaccine in particular is authorized beginning at 12 years of age.
Obviously, some schools here in San Antonio start next week. I'm sure that's the same for Corpus Christi. So what are you telling parents as we wait for the results of this Pfizer test? What are you telling parents as far as getting their kids back into school, especially when it comes to masks? There's such a controversy about should kids wear masks, should they not wear masks?
Well, the first thing I tell them, look, take advantage of what we have right now. And that is we have vaccine for everybody 12 years of age and over. And those are the people who can really transmit it. The little children usually do not transmit it or don't do it very well. So let's protect everybody and the children who cannot yet receive vaccine by vaccinating 12 years of age and over. And that's a significant amount of people that needs to be vaccinated. And then insist on the teachers and all the adults in the schools to be vaccinated because they are the one who can transmit the illness more towards the children. Children rarely transmit it to anybody. So it is important. First of all, as a pediatrician, I believe children need to go back to school in person. And second, I think that the school can be made safe by everybody that can be vaccinated to be vaccinated. Then the controversy about mask or no mask, I think that it is prudent to use a mask because a mask particularly helpful in stopping the spread. So if somebody is infectious, they also know it, then you put the mask, you decrease the chance of that person spreading the virus to somebody else. But I tell you, that's great. But the most important thing, vaccination. Parents need to be vaccinated, teachers need to be vaccinated, and the children who are 12 years of age and over need to be vaccinated.
Down in Corpus Christi, have you guys been seeing any childhood cases of COVID as we have seen around the country?
Yes, we have. But the good news is this. We have seen a few. In general, the ones we see are mild symptoms. The one we have seen with more severe symptoms are usually adolescents, older adolescents with diabetes, with obesity and underlying conditions. But the number of cases that we are hospitalized are very few. I mean, it's a very different story with children from adults, as you know. But yes, we see some, and I think they reflect the increase in transmission that we see in the community that is happening, unfortunately, because so many people have chosen not to vaccinate.
Back to your study real quick, Doctor. Have you seen any kind of information that has come out of this? I know it's still early, but has there been any information come out of this study so far that may be able to help parents decide on how to take care of their kids here in the near future? Any information at all in the study?
No, I really can't talk about any results on this study because I don't even have it. It's blinded to me as a principal investigator here in Corpus Christi. So I do not know who has received the vaccine and who has received the placebo. In general, I can tell you our patients, our children in the study are doing well. And by the way, I want to say we are very grateful to the children and the families who have decided to participate in this study because they're going to help everybody else. We need to have a vaccine for young children, and this is the only way to get it.
I appreciate so much that you said that because without people signing on to take this chance and be a part of this clinical trial, we really wouldn't get to the bottom of the issue, which is, can we vaccinate children 6 months and older? And, as well, many, many thanks to you and Driscoll Hospital and all of the other medical facilities that are using time and effort trying to help us get through this pandemic. We really are at your mercy, and we appreciate the thoughtfulness that you put into these clinical trials.
Well, and thank you both very, very much for reaching out. We are very happy to be able to do this for the community. And most of all, we're very grateful, as I said before, to the patients themselves and the families.
And we know, as you mentioned, there's some patients from here in San Antonio and some from Austin that are involved in the trial. So we appreciate them very much.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Fergie. We really appreciate meeting with you. We can't wait to see the results of your clinical trial, hopefully by the end of the year, early next year.
We will have to have you back for the results of that.
Yes.
We'll talk about it then.
I'll be delighted. Thank you for having me today.
All right. Meantime, we're going to go on to some more news. We have, what are we going to do here? We have a, okay, well, today, of course, the first day that the evictions moratorium has been lifted. ABC News has more on that.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are dealing with two big issues. Debate underway on the $1.1 trillion infrastructure plan.
The longer it takes to finish the bill, the longer we'll be here.
Senators on both sides expect and deserve opportunities to have a say.
This while the eviction moratorium expires, leaving millions of Americans like Louis Vertens struggling to keep roofs over their heads.
I feel lost. I feel helpless. I feel like I can't do anything. Even though I work and I got a full-time job, I can't, it doesn't help. It ain't helping me right now, and nobody seems to want to help.
A Rhode Island judge gave Vertens 3 weeks to vacate his place.
They wanted to give me 6 days to get out. They gave me 3 weeks because I begged for it.
According to the Aspen Institute, more than 15 million people in the U.S. owe as much as $20 billion to landlords. The White House is urging states and cities to distribute federal rental relief funds that have been slow to make it into the pockets of tenants and landlords, saying there's no excuse for the slow rollout of funds and that states do not need to be overly careful and cautious. The White House is insisting President Biden is using whatever federal authority he has to prevent evictions. Representative Jim Clyburn is pointing to something more nefarious.
Sadly, certain large corporate landlords have taken advantage of families during this time, and the select subcommittee that I chair is investigating this.
Residents whose time is almost up are being left with very few options.
And in 3 weeks, I have no idea where I'm going to go or what I'm going to do.
Now, some states have already extended their moratoriums, but a majority have not. The White House is asking landlords to also hold off on evictions for the next 30 days. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
Let's go outside, shall we, with live cam? It's a little hot and a little humid, but other than that.
Lots of clouds.
Yeah, the clouds are actually trying to build up a little bit more, guys. We're starting to see a few returns even here around San Antonio. So these quick pop-up showers are not going to give you much rain, but at least it'll cool us down just a little bit. Let's look at the radar. And first, you'll notice that we have some thunderstorms down there in Dimmitt and Zavala counties. Those are kind of over rural areas near Big Wells. That is the one city that may get a little bit of rain out of that. And as we look a little bit closer here at this activity, some lightning strikes showing up. They might try to work a little bit closer to Crystal City here over the next couple of hours. We'll keep an eye on that. Creosote Springs, same story. And then I mentioned some light returns starting to show up here in San Antonio, down around Rio Medina, just west of the Alamo Ranch area, starting to see a little shower there. And then another one popping up just south of China Grove, right along 410 there on the city's east side. So that shows us that we're getting that instability that I talked about earlier, and we may start to see a few more pop-up showers and storms as the afternoon wears on. Rain chances today at about 30%. That'll be the case tomorrow, 40% Thursday, and then after that, dry for the weekend, and temperatures heat up. We'll see less in the way of cloud cover, too. Temperatures at this hour in the 80s. We should warm into the low 90s this afternoon. Forecast again calls for a 30% chance of rain. We'll slip down to about 82 by the 10 o'clock hour. Guys.
Thank you, Justin. It may be the middle of summer, but you might want to start thinking about Christmas gifts, how supply chain issues could affect your holiday shopping.
A new warning from toy manufacturers. They say a global shipping bottleneck has holiday items stuck in transit. One local analyst says that summer is crunch time to get your toys stocked in time for holiday shopping. However, right now, as supply chains reboot, every aspect of the transportation process, from containers to ships to trucks and rail cars, all backed up, and that's already affecting costs.
You can't find enough containers to get your product here and get it here in time for this coming holiday season. We're going to see fewer items on the shelves, fewer choices for the moms and dads over the Christmas holiday, probably at higher prices.
The Wall Street Journal says some LOL surprise dolls will see a price increase from $10 to $12, and Hasbro in their earnings calling remarks saying shipping costs will cause price hikes later on this year.
So, Justin, it's August, but what's the hot toy this year? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Uh-oh. Better
Am I
figure that
supposed to
out.
know?
You better figure it out pretty quick.
No Tickle Me Elmo reboot?
I don't think that's the thing. I'm still trying to learn all these things. My kids tell me a lot of this stuff.
And then the little girls start not liking pink, and you got to make sure you don't get anything pink.
It changes
Yeah.
day to day, but I'm working on it. Man. Already August, and we're talking about it. Anyway, 86 degrees so far today, 75 the low this morning. Averages are 97 and 76. Our hottest time of the year, by the way. We've been below average. Record is 103 set back in 1895. Couple of showers popping up here around San Antonio. We'll take a look when we come back.
Looking outside, we have already figured out that today is summer once again. The humidity and not any rain.
What is it, August 3rd?
August 3rd, and we've already had how many inches of rain?
A lot. This summer has been very fruitful for us, but there are some showers on the radar. So
Here we go again.
I speak too fast.
Well, since we started the show, they've popped up. So starting to see a little bit of activity, and temperatures will stay a little bit below average today. So that's a good start to August, I think. Let's look at the radar. You can see the activity down there in the parts of Dimmitt and Zavala County. That's what we've been watching. Some lightning strikes. We know that these are going to be a little bit electrical, and we can zoom in a little bit closer. And, well, we're going to zoom in to San Antonio first here. But you see some of these pop-up showers I was mentioning just east of Atkins, now popping up between Atkins and Lavernia, just south of China Grove along 410. Got a little shower there. Same out near Alamo Ranch, just to the south and west of SeaWorld. Another one near Rio Medina. So it's these clouds that'll bubble up into a shower storm pretty quickly and then maybe fall apart and move along. You're not going to get a lot of substantial rain out of this, not like yesterday. But if you're lucky enough to get some rain, it's nice to see. I want to show you the aquifer real quick, too. We had been building a pretty good surplus, and then things started to fall off some until yesterday. Now we're starting to see the aquifer come back up, but we're staying above that magic number of 660. So that keeps us out of restrictions. Of course, you got to have a 10-day rolling average below 660 to fall back below that numbering and have restrictions, stage 1 restrictions. But we're certainly not there. Doing really well in that department, too. I want to show you that. Okay, we will switch over now to the forecast for today. Temperatures across the state, 80s and 90s. And this does not look like an August weather map. You would expect to see 90s and triple digits, but not the case. We had that frontal boundary move through, and temperatures really not all that bad. Now, humidity does play a role here. We're going to see heat indices jump up into the mid-90s, maybe near 100 out near Houston, Corpus Christi for sure. But this is a pretty good looking map too for this time of year. And you look at the cloud cover, it's mostly here across South Texas, most of West Texas seeing sunny skies. But we talked about some of those clouds trying to bubble up, and there you go. We're starting to see more of that. Also seeing a few showers lining up there along I-10. Another little shower now just popping up east of Nixon. So the activity is starting to bubble up, and I think we'll continue to see some of that through the afternoon. Outside right now, mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures 86 at the airport, 85 Kelly, 87 Stinson, and 86 in Randolph. North to northeasterly breeze, and temperatures mid-80s for now. If you do get a shower, that's going to bring the temperature down temporarily, but then of course it gets pretty sticky out there too. 84 Tarpley, 86 in Bandera, 84 Kennedy, 91 right now in Del Rio. That's the hot spot. There is going to be a heat index this afternoon. Heat indices should jump into the mid-90s as we talked about. Look, this isn't overly hot, but I do want to warn you that just because temperatures are in the 80s doesn't mean it's not feeling at least a little bit warmer out there. The heat index could go as high as 99 down there in Cotulla. Here's what our forecast looks like. Isolated showers and storms today. This model doesn't show a whole lot. I think there probably will be a little more than what you're seeing here. That'll be the case tomorrow, but both days about a 30% chance of rain. And then as we get into Thursday, maybe a little better chance. A little disturbance rolls in from the south, and that should enhance our rain chances just a little bit. But after Thursday, rain chances go away. Things dry out. Forecast for today, 30% chance of rain, 90, maybe 91, 92, depending on how much sun you see. Northeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then 92 tomorrow, 30% chance of rain, 40% chance, as we said, Thursday, 91. and then it gets hot and humid for the weekend. We'll be in the mid-90s with heat indices near 100 both Saturday and Sunday. We'll be right back.
This is an exciting day because Mike and Fiona have been getting ready for their back to school special.
Yes.
But now they're back with us.
But it's also Taco Tuesday, so that's
true.
also always a good day.
Well, it's also a beard kind of a day too. I don't know if
this isn't
Beer
for the
Tuesday
kids.
works.
No.
Yeah, that
Or
works.
for back to school. But look at that. Oh, yes. So we've got Neil Myers from Alamo Beer Company here, and we are going to be talking about their newest beer.
Yeah, I always love a guest when they. Oh, the aroma on that is fantastic. When they bring their own beer, this is a new one, Chamoy Cowboy, and actually, well, I got it here. Ooh, that does have a really, really nice flavor to it. They say that's going to go well with their pork nachos that they have there. Or
How about this? Look at this. Okay, this food truck was on Netflix for the Taco Chronicles. Carnitas Don Raul.
Yep, and some of those recipes, this originated down in Mexico, and some of these recipes have come this direction. As I was putting them on the plate, believe it or not, some of that pork fell out, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I had to taste it. Oh my goodness gracious, that is delicious.
Oh, and this actor and director starred in Hook opposite Robin Williams. We chat with Dante Bosco about his new film.
Does a lot of voiceover work for a lot of animated stuff as well. Okay, want to do a little bit of sprucing up and decorating. Chica Verde, one of those places where you find stuff, it's like, oh my God, this is what what a great idea. Jen is going to take us there and see all the stuff they have going on.
And it's someone's birthday on today's show, so we're going to wonder, what decade would you